Yeah, just one game last week, which was kind of nice because we had done a lot of travelling and a lot of games in a short amount of time. So that was kind of nice for us to be able to reset and train slightly differently going into that game. So going into the game, we knew Providence was going to be good. I think they were top 3 last season. We're tipped to do quite well this year. So we knew they were going to be good. We knew they were going to be a very technical team that possessed it really well, organised, hard-working, well coached, so we knew it was going to be a good game. So what was kind of difficult was the conditions. The last 2 weeks it's been really windy, so it really affects the women's game, I feel, more so than the men's game. So the conditions made it difficult, where we dominated in the first half and totally controlled every aspect of the game, and then in the second half we had to go against the wind. So it was a huge character win to score against the wind, because that's not easy to do, and puts us in a really good position. But I'd say the game against Providence was just gritty, hard-working, blue-collar, find a way to win, get a shutout. It wasn't pretty at times, but we took care of business.
Welcome to Nebraska. Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you go back and look at performances, or do you just move forward?
No, we do look. It just depends, yeah. But we do look, yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious what your impressions were after sitting down with a different mindset and watching it versus what it felt like live.
Well, I think you can get carried away as a coach when you watch you win a game. You're never quite as good as you think you are, and then when you lose a game, typically you're never as bad as what you think you are. So that watching the film kind of reaffirms what you were looking at, and maybe allows us to look at some different things. And first half it was kind of how I thought it was. We dominated everything, and we just need more quality in the final third. And then the first 5 minutes of the second half, we didn't come out. I don't think we were as focused as what we needed to be, and we almost conceded. Alyssa came up with a couple of really good saves in the first 5, and then kind of locked down, and actually did a bit better than I thought we did. But we're going to actually do some film tomorrow with the team on the scout for the next game, and also film on offensive unit and defensive unit, and go through that with the coaching staff, and just show some clips on how to manage the game, that type of thing, so we're ready to improve for the next one.
You've won 3 of 4 now. What does that do for you guys heading into the last couple of weeks?
I think it's great. It gives you, it gives you a boost. It gives you, hopefully, it gives you some belief and some confidence, which this team hasn't always had a lot of. So I feel like they're in a good spot. But as a coaching staff, we're not going to get carried away. It's like, it's one game at a time. We've got to prepare for the next game now, and we've competed really well against some of the best teams in the conference. Yet, we've not done as well against some of the other teams. So there's not a team we can take lightly at this point of where we're at in the program. So we've got to prepare and focus on the process this week, and be present at training, and really dial into the details for the next challenge.
How have you seen that confidence grow based on when you got here to where it is now?
I feel like where I'm seeing it most is in the belief that, they're competing. Like, that's the biggest thing I'm seeing. And I don't necessarily think we have any more quality necessarily than what we had when we first got here. It's the same players, but what they are doing is competing and grinding it out, and we're trying to play slightly different. I think they played a much more possession style play last year. We're trying to mix it up a little bit with some possession, but also being a little bit more difficult to beat versus just total football, if you know what I mean. So.
How close is this team to kind of playing to that identity that you want them to have?
Close, a lot closer than we were. I feel like the last 3 games, the way we've played, the way we're grinding results out, and we're difficult to beat, and we're chippy, and playing aggressively, and we're competing in our 1v1s. So I feel like we're almost to a point where that identity is coming forward. But again, it's like we're in a rebuilding phase of a program, and you're going to have ups and downs during that rebuilding phase. And I'm pleased with where we're at, but it could quite easily go in a different direction Sunday. So we've just got to keep preparing like we have been doing, and I feel like the girls are buying in, they're seeing the results, so that's been a good thing. But our identity right now is we're blue collar and make us difficult to beat, organised, scrappy, and find ways to win.
What do you think it says that you're still getting results during this, as you call it, kind of rebuilding phase?
Yeah, so that to me is a sign of a good team. When you're getting results and you're not playing excellent, and you're finding ways to win, I feel like that's a sign of a good team. It's grinding out, because the Big East on the women's soccer side is a tough conference. You might get 3-4 teams in the NCAA tournament from this conference. So it's tough. There's not one easy game. Like we went to Marquette a couple of weeks ago, and it's one of the most difficult games I've been a part of in my years as a coach. And every game is a challenge. Every game is going to throw something different at you. We know DePaul they're going to kick us all over the field on Sunday. They're going to be really organised, tough to beat, really good defensively. They've got players up front that can punish you if you switch off. So there's not one game in this conference that's going to be light. Every game is going to be a challenge.
Was there a light bulb moment or a big speech, a fiery speech that led you guys on this stretch here of winning 3 or 4?
Yeah, I think there's been a few fiery speeches. I don't know if the light bulb's gone off because of that, though. But what I would say, I feel like, I'm hoping, knock on wood, but we talked about getting a marquee win, getting a signature win where all of us say we've arrived. And I'm hoping that was the UConn game, because we talked about being close against Xavier. We talked about being close against Georgetown, but I said the team was sick of being close. Like, when are we going to get that big win over a good team where we finally get over the hump, and then we did it against UConn. So not saying we're going to be on a run now, but I know it all felt so much better. So, yeah.
That first two-a-day way back, seems like now, you kind of just looked the team in the eye and said you wanted to have a certain type of identity, a certain type of edge, a chippiness, that on the other side makes it undesirable to play against.
Mm-hmm.
Late in the match the other day, when Alyssa takes that, kind of like cheeky little hip check, Tajay gets in that player's face. I know you don't want players getting sent off and things like that, but are you seeing that mentality that you tried to establish day one, kind of permeate through the team and show itself in moments where it's time to stick up for one another?
Absolutely. There was, I think, 3 or 4 times that happened in the game on Sunday where a player stuck up for another player, and as a coach, it's one of them where you're like, all right, ladies, you've got to calm down a little bit, but deep down inside you're going, that's it, love that. But I love that, love the fact that we stuck up for our goalkeeper, love the fact we're having each other's backs, and we've got that togetherness, and I'm really seeing that as part of our culture and our identity right now. So I'm proud of that. I want teams to hate playing Creighton. I don't know if it's always been the case, but we're getting there. I don't think we're the finished article by any means, but I think we're being a lot more difficult, we're rugged, we're tough to play against, and I love that. That's kind of always been one of my identities as a coach.
You have time for one more question. You have the pink out match coming up. What does that mean to you, and is that kind of a point of excitement in the season?
Yeah, it means a lot to all of us. It means a lot to all the players. It means a lot to all the staff, because I think I said this to somebody earlier. Every single one of us has or knows someone that has experienced cancer, and how difficult that process can be. And I don't want them thinking about it necessarily at kick-off time, because I want us to be focused on the game. But if there's anything we can take going into the game, what I would hope for is the people that are battling any kind of cancer, and it's hit me personally with my parents and stuff like that, and other family members. But what you notice with all the people going through cancer is they have to fight, and they're going through adversity, and they're going through really tough times in their families and what they're doing and dealing with it. And I'm hoping that our team can show halfway, anywhere near the kind of fight that people that are fighting cancer have to deal with on a daily basis. So I'm hoping that our attitude reflects that on Sunday.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.